The other thing you've got to remember to stretch is hamstrings. When you're sat a lot at your desk and you're not getting up and moving about a bit, you will get tight. One in your hip flexors, which we also do a stretch in there, but also in your hamstrings. Really important to stretch them. So keep one leg down. How I like to do it is I like to bring the leg up towards, like we did earlier, and then from there I usually hook my hands behind the thigh and then straighten up. And if you can't straighten from there, it doesn't matter, you'll still feel it, and then you try and straighten the leg. And if you can't see from the angle, but if you then point your toes down towards your face, it hurts, which is hence my voice is changing because it's not very comfortable. That will also involve your calf muscles as well, so you get a double whammy. Then relax it down. Don't just let it fall. Relax down. Bring the other leg up. Relax that leg down. Do the same again. Bring your leg towards your chest and straighten, and then just slowly straighten as much as you can, and bring your toes towards, and that's all, towards your face. So you're pointing your toes downwards, not up towards the ceiling, the opposite way. If you can't reach your hands behind your thighs like this, you can put a towel around your toes, and I know I've shown this to a number of you, and pull that way. But the point is, don't bring up the leg all the way like that. It's safer for your back, in case it's a bit sore, to bring it up as a bent knee and then straighten. It's a little bit gentler on your back doing it that way. For hip flexors, which are also really important to stretch, they are in your front here. So one of the things you can do is get into a lunge position, and you then push forward, so you should feel a pull there. I show you from a side angle, do the other way around, and then what you're doing is you're pushing your pelvis forward. So it's not just that and leaning back. That won't achieve the same thing. You'll stretch more your quads, which is not what we want. We want to actually stretch your hip flexors, which are more here. So what you have to do is keep upright and then push your pelvis forward, and then that movement from there to there, you should get a little bit more of a stretch in that area, and that should help with your hip flexors. They get really short when you're sat for a long time like that. They get really shortened in there, and it can give you, because the hip flexors actually go all the way into you, in through your insides, and they come out one of your main hip flexors, and it comes out to your lower back about there. So a lot of people who get back pain sort of about there, it's as much to do with hip flexor pain here as it is to do with actual joint pain, which could be a little bit closer, a bit further in there. And then that's more likely to be joint. If you're slightly further over and maybe a little bit further up, it's more likely to be psoas, which is your deep hip flexor in there. And that's why it's important to remember to stretch that as much as it is to stretch